Maestro Ashkenazy, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me between rehearsals. I'd like to talk to you about our next projects with the Philharmonia Orchestra.
My pleasure.
I wanted to start off by asking you about the way you see about your relationship with the Philharmonia Orchestra.
Well, you know, it's one of the best orchestras in the world, so for me it's a great privilege actually to stand in front of such good players. It's a great pleasure to be here because I know that at least we'll have at least very good performances, and sometimes if I do quite well, then even great performances. My first very strong and unbelievably strong love for music was connected to the symphony orchestra. When I heard for the first time a symphony orchestra, I was absolutely bowled over. I just thought it was the most incredible, most wonderful thing that ever happened to me and ever will happen to me, to listen to symphony orchestra. All my pocket money I spent on orchestral concerts in Moscow Conservatory, and learned a lot of repertoire, but I never ever dreamt of conducting. My father-in-law, my wife's father, he had an amateur orchestra in London. So he said to me, why don't you conduct once? I said, well, I would love to, but how do you give the first C? He said, very simple, you just do this. I couldn't understand what he did something, but I couldn't imitate him. So I came and conducted the overture. It was pretty awful from me, but some things I thought I did sort of musically well, and I enjoyed some sounds. Then one day, my mother said, why don't you conduct in England? So I conducted the Liverpool Orchestra once, and then Philharmonia came up. I said, well, I'm too nervous. So I did Manfred Tchaikovsky, can you imagine, 1 hour piece. And the orchestra did everything they could to play with me. It was so nice, just like now. I conducted the Manfred Symphony by Tchaikovsky in the festival hall, and we had good reviews, can you imagine? After the second concert, we had a repeat. I invited the orchestra, offered them a drink, and I'll never forget, I took some players around me and said, come here, I want to ask you something. And I said, be honest with me, it is really difficult to play with me because I don't yet know how to conduct. He said, yes, it was sort of difficult, but you know what? We like what you're trying to do. We like your music making. So please come back. We'd love to play with you again. You learn this, but we love the music you're making. And I nearly cried, you know, it was so nice of them. They were absolutely honest, and they encouraged me. So I always came back to the Philharmonia.
Coming back to the concerts we're going to be doing together with Yevgeny Kissin, what is it like for you to conduct a young pianist like Kissin?
Evgeny Kissin, actually I call him Zhenya, that's a diminutive in Russian. We're very good friends, and I've conducted for him many times, and he very often asks for me, and I'm very pleased that he does. Well, of course, I know the piano repertoire like few people, you know, and so he knows that I do at least a good job for him, and sometimes very good too. So we have a very good relationship in that sense. He wanted to record 2 Prokofiev concerts, number 2, number 3, and he wanted me to conduct it, and naturally it came to us, to the Philharmonia Orchestra. Sometimes I'm listening to him, some in a cadence or somewhere else, and he plays so well, I might forget to give a beat. No, I'm joking, I don't think I will forget. But I enjoy it very much. I wanted to say that I enjoy it very much, because he's a tremendous pianist.
As far as I'm concerned, I think that when you come and conduct the Philharmonia and when we have soloists, I think they're very lucky, you know, to basically, you know, come and have an orchestra like the Philharmonia, but also have you supporting him, you know, making a really special performance, you know, every time that we perform.
But you know, when somebody plays well, you have nothing to just follow, because it's so good, you don't need to do anything. And when something is not too good, then you say, how about doing this or doing that? You know, but in your case or in Kissin's case, it's just you're there, everything is fine, just be a part of it.